seas of the New World on an evening when the moon shone brightly. A large spectacular-looking vessel flooded with lights that shone many colors sailed across the ocean. This boat was known as the Jolly Jingle, the most popular showboat for 2 years running. On board the massive showboat was many people conversing with each other, sitting down to eat dinner or gazing out at the sea. Couples, families with children and many other types of people were all having a great time and eagerly waiting for a show to begin in the main hall. Scattered around the walls were eye-catching posters of the main show that had been selling out tickets for a very long time now. The Jinglette Marionette Show, starring the iconic Jinglette Marionette herself, was the most popular puppet show around. Being her name in real life as well as the main character in the show, Jinglette was a jester marionette always looking to have fun and make people happy. Created by showmaster Rick Gray, the show had Jinglette perform a variety of songs and dances along with some short storylines of her silly and jolly antics. Many children loved her and were always begging their parents to take them to see the show anytime tickets had become available. 7:40 p.m. While Jinglette and the show were loved by many, nobody has ever known of the true story of how the show came to be. The clocks around the ship were now showing 7:40 p.m. and many people were grouped outside the main hall doors waiting eagerly to get in their seats to watch the show. The doors to the main theater would open during that time and the show would kick off at 8 p.m. to give everyone time to come in. "Oh, I can't wait for this, Mom and Dad," said a young boy excitedly to his parents. "Jinglette is gonna be on stage soon." "Yeah, me too," said the boy's sister. "Getting to see Jinglette live is what I've been dying to see so much." "Okay, calm down now you two," replied the mother happily. "We just have to be patient now so they can get things ready. I'm sure Jinglette will be delighted to see you watching," followed the father. "I know she will," replied the boy. "I'm her biggest fan." "No, I'm her biggest fan," said his sister back. "No way." "I am." "No, I am." "Okay, now let's not argue," said the mother. "Jinglette won't want to see you both arguing with each other. You both are her biggest fans, okay?" replied the children. They made up and went back to staring at the doors waiting to open. "You say this show is as great as your cousin said it was," said a guy to his girlfriend. "I dunno, it seems like something only you would get a kick out of." "Nonsense. Jinglette is supposed to be for everyone. She looked like a lot of fun to watch." "Be positive," replied his girlfriend. "I'll take your word then. This cost a lot of belly to spend our weekend on." Audiences from all over the ship had their own expectations and excitements for the show about to start. Soon the security guard finally opened the doors from inside the theater. "Thank you all for waiting so patiently. Please take your seats and the puppet show extravaganza will be starting soon." The crowd dashed inside, all looking for the beat seats in the house that weren't already booked. The atmosphere was loud and cheerful, as everyone waited patiently for the show to begin. Backstage, from behind the stage curtains, last-minute checkups were being taken to make sure that everything was ready to go. The stage background was a huge painting of a big green field with a castle in the background, and behind it were many other backgrounds that would set the future scenes up. A sizable work crew were looking at their finished preparations, and a man dressed up in fine clothing was inspecting the finished work. That man was Rick Gray. "It looks great, guys. We're now ready to begin," he said, making sure he wasn't loud enough for the audience to hear from behind the curtains. "Thanks, boss," said one of the puppeteers from up above. "Let's give them a show to remember tonight." "Fantastic," he replied happily. "Is my darling ready too?" A faint sound of jingling bells was heard to give the signal. "Okay then. I'll make the introductions and we'll start the show." Rick turned to face the curtains and waited for the main lights to turn off. The audience was getting very excited as the main spotlight shone on the stage. Rick went through the curtains and stood on the stage, accepting the claps for him by everyone watching. "Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, I welcome you aboard the Jolly Jingle. I'm Rick Gray, the captain of this vessel and the creator of the greatest puppet show in the world." The audience clapped for him. "We have been very grateful for all the praise and wonderful feedback on our show. Never in a million years would I have ever thought that one of my dreams could come true. It's an honor that we have been continuing to entertain many audiences across the Grand Line and now the New World for 2 years straight. Without you then we would never have kept going for this long. So tonight I may come across as a broken record when I say thank you to each and every single one of you. Because of you, Jinglet is a very lucky and happy person." The audience clapped once again and cheered loudly. Rick smiled at everyone, feeling proud of how much his life had turned around since getting his show made. "But enough about me now. I know you have all come here to see the main star. So how about we get things started?" Everyone clapped and cheered loudly once again. "Then sit back, relax and enjoy the one, the only, Jinglet marionette." Rick left the stage as the applause got louder. "And the fields are peaceful," said the voice-over for the lady puppet. "It's almost too peaceful actually. Usually, that cheeky Jinglet is lurking around somewhere, always getting up to mischief. I wonder if she is around at all today?" Just then Jinglet started speaking in a non-threatening, spooky voice to trick the lady. "Woo-woo. I'm the spirit of the great money tree. I will make you rich beyond your wildest dreams." "What the?" The tree spoke. The puppet jumped and took a few steps back. "That is correct. Just say the word and I'll make you filthy rich." The puppet then was positioned to look at the audience. "That's incredible. Did you boys and girls know about this tree?" The audience all replied yes back to it. "Well, I'll be. In that case, go ahead. Please make me rich, O great tree of wealth. Then your wish shall be granted. You shall get 1,000 berries." 1,000? Oh, me good, but what rained down from the stage wasn't any money at all. It was a storm of berry fruits instead, which hit the puppet continually. The audience laughed and Jinglet jumped up high from behind the tree and landed on her feet. "God yeah. Maybe fruits and money shouldn't sound the same, ha. I got her really good, didn't I, boys and girls?" "Yes, you sure did," replied the audience, still trying not to laugh. "Oh, that troublesome Jinglet has tricked me again," said the voice of the puppet in a cheerful tone. "I should have thought that the sound of jingling came from your bells. You cheeky trickster, you." The show carried on with various acts and musical numbers for a good hour. A very satisfied audience were talking about the show well after the doors closed in the theater. Backstage, Rick came on down to speak with Jinglet once the staff had hung up her puppet controls with her still strung up. The controls were hung on a pulley system, so that whoever pulled the rope attached would raise Jinglet upwards so she would be at level with the other puppets hung up. Even when not on the show, she always remained motionless when nobody was pulling her strings. She was currently positioned to be standing up. Another fine job, well done, my dear. You captivated that audience until the very end, and I'm once again proud of you. Thank you, Master, she replied cheerfully. I'll always do my best for you. Act a girl, you can have a hug for a job well done. He pinched the strings connected to her wrists and pulled them towards him to make Jinglet hug him. Now then, it's time you got some sleep. We have a busy day coming up when we arrive at Rosa in a few days. Oh yes, that's right. I remember you saying that we were going there. Are we gonna have people from Rosa watch the show? Indeed, my bundle of joy. You'll get to spend the first day being able to walk around the town with one of the stilt walkers who will help you move around. You can say hello to everyone and pass out flyers to come and watch the show the next day. That sounds like a lot of fun, Master. It's been so long since I've got to go outside and see people outside of the show. After all your success, you deserve a reward, my dear. Neither of us has been to Rosa before, so play nice with the people, because we need an audience. Yes, Sir Master. I'd salute, if I could. Rick chuckled and took her left hand string and raised it towards her head to salute him. Thank you, sir. All right then. Up you go now and get some sleep. He pulled on the pulley system's rope, which raised Jinglet upwards so she was suspended up above Rick along with the other marionettes. Good night, Master. You sleep well too. Good night, my wonderful Jinglet. As he left the stockroom and headed for his bedroom located at the highest part of the ship, Jinglet closed her eyes without hesitation. Night, everybody, she whispered to the other lifeless puppets whom she always spoke with every day. Once in his room, Rick got out a pen and paper to start jotting down more ideas he could add to the show. He started talking to himself, which he did a lot when by himself. Hard to believe it's been 2 years since that day I took you in, Nami. He started to think back about the day that changed his life. The day I freed you from the life of a pirate and put into stardom as a now famous human marionette who everyone loves. This life has been much better for you, and I finally have someone that I can call a dear friend. I may have had to manipulate your mind with my powers to get this far, but I'm much better off this way than how I used to get on with life. He looked at the poster for the Jinglet show with Nami on the front. Someone I used to despise is now someone I can order about with no backlash. It's so great to be me anyway. I better get started on some new acts for the show. We need to change things up a bit to keep audiences from getting bored. He spent most of the night writing until he couldn't stay awake anymore. A few days later, the jolly Jingle finally arrived at Rosa. Nami woke up with the same smile as always, waiting for Rick to come in and put her on the ground. Good morning, friends, she said to the puppets. Rise and shine, everybody. However, she noticed that something about her surroundings that felt different. Your Majesty and Highness? Where are you? She was referring to 2 marionettes that were a king and queen of the castle used in the show. They weren't hanging up on their usual spots, which had never happened before. Where are you 2? Have you gone on stage without me? She looked down on the floor and in shock saw where the puppets were. They both lay on the floor all broken from head to legs. Oh my gosh, the king and queen broke. Master! Master, come quickly, she yelled desperately, waiting for Rick to arrive. In no time flat, Rick rushed into the stock room. What is it, Jinglet? What's wrong? Look on the floor. The king and queen fell down and broke. What? He examined the damage and looked up to notice that the hooks where they hung on had broken off, resulting in the puppets breaking from the impact of the fall. This is a disaster. We needed them for tomorrow night's show. This is just great. What do we do now? Nami asked worryingly. I'll have to come into town with you and Distilled Walker and look for a store that hopefully sells puppets that can replace these ones. I guess it was a matter of time until something like this would happen. These two were getting worn out and they're ancient. I got them second-hand 2 years ago, so I should avoid it in the future. I come, Master. I want to help out too. No, don't worry about that. You have a job to do, so stay focused on that and leave the replacements to me, understand? The command given to Nami instantly changed her worried state of mind to a jolly one, like a trigger in her brain. Okie dokie, Master. I'll stick to what you want me to do. Rick used the pulley system to bring Jinglet down and put her on her feet so the Distilled Walker could come in and take her out. Like all the staff Rick had on board his stolen ship, the Distilled Walker didn't join the crew by his own free will. He, along with everyone else, was hypnotized by Rick's devil fruit powers so that they would work for him for as long as he needed them. When the Distilled Walker came in, he took Nami's puppet controls in hand and started making her walk out of the ship to head towards the town. He was a strong man, so he was able to freely manipulate Nami like a marionette despite her being a human being. Here we go, Mr. Stillman, she cheered, as the pair walked on with Rick by their side. As the trio nearly reached the town, Rick started to take off in a different direction to look for a shop that sold puppets. Remember, Jinglet, to behave yourself and hand out these flyers, he explained, as he gave a bunch of them to Nami to hold in her hand. I will, Master. I hope you find us some new friends. I'm hoping so. Have fun and see you soon. He took off ahead. Bye-bye. Nami called, wanting to wave at him. The pair finally made it into town and the citizens fixed their attention towards her. Hey, check it out, said a woman speaking to her friend. It's one of those human marionette acts. Pretty cool. Yeah, replied her friend. Let's go and say hello. A bunch of people all came together to get closer to Nami. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, said the Distilled Walker. This here is the lovely and wonderful Jinglet Marionette, and she's been looking forward to meeting you all. Say hello, Jinglet. He manipulated the strings to operate her arms to wave hello at them. The audience was fascinated and enjoying her company already. This fun-loving jester loves to dance and play with all the friends she makes, and she's hoping that you'll be her friend too. Look at that puppet, Mummy, said a young girl to her father. I wanna go say hello to her. Go ahead then, Jenny, replied her father happily. Jenny got closer to Nami, and the Distilled Walker made Nami bend down so she could see the young girl better. Hello there, Miss Jinglet. I'm Jenny. Nami was made to shake, about to give a response which made every bell on her outfit ring rapidly. I can dance just like you can too. Oh, I think she likes the sound of that, said the Distilled Walker. Don't you, Jinglet? He made Nami's head nod up and down to say yes. Well then let's watch her dance, ladies and gentlemen. He manipulated Nami to dance around on the spot, which captivated everyone. Jenny was giggling with joy, as she then tried to mimic Nami's movements. Whilst Nami was being shaken around, she caught a glimpse of something rather peculiar. More citizens were making their way towards her, but they didn't look like humans at all. In fact, they were walking, talking toys that were moving around by themselves. Nami almost jumped at the sight of them, but tried to remain in character. What on earth is this? The last time I checked, toys can't move by themselves. This is super fascinating. The toys gathered around to see Nami and were just as captivated as the rest of the citizens were, who seemed to be accepting to the toys like it was completely normal to them. Fancy that. A puppet that isn't a toy. Now there's something you don't see all the time, said a wind-up doll. She must be one of those street performers, replied the wooden doll. Let's keep watching. Nami was paraded around the town for the next few hours, entertaining people and giving out the flyers to come and see the show. Her day was going very well, seeing all the happy people enjoy her company. I wonder how the master is doing. I hope he found some new friends. Meanwhile, Rick had come across an old-fashioned toy shop after searching for a long time. He looked on the walls where lots of puppets were on display, hoping to find a king and queen. Can I help you today? Asked the shopkeeper. Yes, my good sir. I'm looking for a king and a queen marionette. Do you have any hanging around? Not on display, but I'll check the stock room for you. Thank you, assistant. I need you to keep an eye on the cashier, he called towards the stock room. The assistant came out and jumped onto the shelf next to Till. Rick jumped, seeing that the assistant was a wooden wind-up monkey toy moving on its own. You got it, boss, it replied, as the shopkeeper headed into the stock room. What in the world are you? Asked Rick, who couldn't hold back on his true emotions to what he was seeing. Last time I checked, I'm a monkey, replied the toy. I take it you haven't seen any toy talk back at you. This is insane. How on earth are you alive? I dunno. I've always known myself to be who I'm and just lived with it. There's plenty of other toys just like me too who live here, so I'm not alone. Fascinating. You're very unique. Just then the shop bell rang and Rick looked back to notice a customer walk in. It was a young girl wearing a red teddy bear coat and a white dress with blue polka dots. She was eating some fruit as she took a close look at Rick. Oh, hello there, master. What can I do for you today? Asked the monkey toy. Master? As Rick was in his thoughts, the girl continued to look at him and finally spoke. I've heard about you, Mr. Showman. Not to mention your Jinglette puppet too. How did you hear about us then? Oh, Jinglette is a very special case that I have been interested in seeing for a long time now. The girl gave a sinister look which started to worry Rick. Could she possibly know the truth about Jinglette that he hoped would have stayed a secret? He started to shake a little.